Your phone did not just switch from Wi-Fi to 4G. You are not suddenly missing out on 1080p. I'm just filming this with a potato. Oh, wow! That is lower down than I thought it was. Jeez. Okay. The framing is still bad. We are still going to spend the first quarter of every video with me complaining about the framing, getting up and down a bunch of times, and moving the camera. It doesn't matter if we're filming this with a potato or a, you know, WD-40. We are going to be filming this. We're going to be having this problem. Hey, car keys. How you doing? She's got a little cold. She's got the sniffles. My dishwasher has not been draining all the way, and oh, so bad sneezes. She's got a vet appointment on Sunday. You good? So we're gonna have the cat wheezing, we're gonna have the dishwasher going. If that'll drain it all the way this time, this is worse. This makes it worse. A little bit, yeah. Welcome to my new living room, because I have an entire apartment instead of one room now. So that's exciting. Short version of a long story, the house that I was living in is being sold. It went on the market last week. They accepted a cash offer today. Personally, I believe that if you get a cash offer in a week, all that you know for sure is that you didn't get enough money for the house. But I didn't get to see any of the money, so that's fine. And in the process of getting rid of everything, we had professional cleaners and declutterers. They're called a downsizing team. And we had them come into the house and go through our stuff, which was among the most unpleasant and invasive experiences I have had in my entire life. And I'm counting like having to go through all of my crazy suicide plans with a therapist. Way rather go through that than have people come through my house, ask me what's important, and then throw stuff away anyway. And mainly this crew also did a thing where they said, oh yeah, we're gonna donate all this stuff, and then it all went in a dumpster. So like, among the things that went in the dumpster was my ukulele that I realized I didn't play, and I thought this would be good to give to somebody else to foster a beginning love of music. That's in a dumpster. The bass guitar that when I was 16, I saved up all my money because I wanted to learn how to play bass. That's in a dumpster. So I hope someone had a really good day dumpster diving, and that these important and useful things are not just, you know, wood chip now. And I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna be angry about that for the rest of my life. And like, I was thinking, you know, maybe someday I'll get over it. I'm never gonna get over it. I am going to be angry about that for the rest of my life. And as time goes on, it's gonna be the kind of anger that I like build a little wall around, and you build like a cyst, and it just kind of sits there, and it's one of those cysts that your doctors look at and they go, that's probably fine, just don't mess with it. But it'll be there. And if it ever feels like getting messed with, it'll pop and it'll come back out. And that's how I'm gonna be for the rest of my life about this. And a lot of the stuff that was important to me and nobody else. So like, that's why it's my stuff and I want to keep it. Like, I have had a glass cup that when I lived in San Diego, and if you look at the very beginning of this channel, please don't, but if you do, that's all filmed in San Diego. There was like vlog every day in August, things like that. And I was taking care of my grandpa, and he had blood pressure problems that meant that he had to have a specific amount of fluid every day. But he also was, when he was not laughing about Blazing Saddles, which was his favorite movie, he was a very dignified and proper gentleman. He ate with a cloth napkin and he folded it up every day. That's just who he was. And so he didn't really like when we were using measuring cups to measure out how much fluid we gave him. So I found one of the cups that we give him had an etched pattern of flowers on it. And we could fill it up to a specific spot on that etched pattern, and we knew that was 8 ounces. So we didn't need to be bothering with the measuring cup, and it saved him a certain amount of dignity. And then when he died, I took that cup home. And that cup was in my room. And it's now probably in a dumpster with the bass guitar that I saved up all my money to buy when I was 16 and the ukulele that I carried with me everywhere for 2 years. So I'm going to be mad about that for the rest of my life. But that's not why we're here today. We're here because all of my keytars are in boxes, much like all of the rest of my shit. I did make a video where I talked a lot about being disabled and my disability. There's one that I posted, and there's one that's a Patreon exclusive. Don't join the Patreon because you think you will get good content. The Patreon exclusive is sort of like, I made this and I put a lot of energy into this, and I know some people want to watch it, but it's also not good. So I just put it on Patreon. So there's a video of me talking about how DC treated Barbara Gordon as a disabled person. That's on Patreon. One of the elements of being disabled that I feel isn't super obvious all the time is that everything I do goes slowly. So, like, I cannot work a full day, go to my parents' house, fill my car up with boxes, take the boxes back here, take them out of my car, and put them away. I can't do all of that in one day. I can, for example, go work a full day at work in my little wheelchair, go to my parents' house, put 2 or 3 things in the back of my car, drive my car here, leave them in the back of my car, come in and do low impact things like sitting down, bitching about things to a camera, or like watching, you know, an episode or 9 of television, and then waking up and then going to work and then coming back and then taking the boxes out of my car. I can't move a full day. Something that I didn't talk about because I didn't know in the last video is that if you're a woman and you get surgery, you can just get fibromyalgia out of it, and they don't tell you that. And then you have a doctor like really casually be like, yeah, sometimes people with fibromyalgia end up with so much pain that they have to go to the ER for pain management. Like, cool. Overexerting yourself can just make it flare up. Sleeping when you're too cold and don't have a good blanket can just result in the rest of your body not working the next day. It's so weird. It's like my body is like my dishwasher, where if you stop it or open the door before the 2-hour cycle is done, there will be water on the floor of it for like 3 days. Would be great would be if I had, say, a siphon for a fish tank that I could then siphon the water out of the bottom, and then that wouldn't even be a problem for me while I wait for my landlord to fix it. I actually had a siphon for a fish tank. It's in a dumpster next to the cup that mattered to me because it reminded me of my grandfather as well, and the way that we protected his dignity while he was in failing health, and the bass guitar that I saved up all my money to buy when I was 16. So that's great. So yes, we are still disabled. I would like to share with everybody, this is the cane, this is one of my canes. I have 7 now because they are fun to buy. Canes come in a lot of different fun shapes and colors, and I want to, like when I'm feeling sad about being disabled, which has happened to me over the span of, you know, a little bit less than a year, where it became really severe. I have been a regular mobility aid user for less than a year. But canes are like $30. They're like $10 to $40, $10 to $50. And you can get them at all kinds of places. You can get them at like Walgreens or Target or CVS or Walmart. And that means that if you're disabled and you use a cane and you're a little bit sad and you want to buy yourself something nice as a treat, you can go into the pharmacy aisle and get yourself a fun new cane. So you can have that one, but you can also have like a red one because you wear red all the time. And this one glows in the dark, and it folds up. And the thing about folding canes is that they unfold really violently. So they are just kind of sitting there. This one was the first one that I purchased, and it very much screams, do not fuck with me, I have the power of God and anime on my side. I got this one because I didn't like how offset canes look, but then I saw a picture on Instagram of someone looking really cool while holding one of these, and I was like, I want one of those, and it was like $9, so then I got a polka dot one. The difference between collecting canes and collecting keytars is that canes are not delicate, and they're a lot cheaper, and you can just put them all in an umbrella stand, I say, as if I have an umbrella stand, which I do not. But this one's fun, because in the state of California, having a... Let's show you what it is first. So in the state of California, having a sword concealed in a cane is a Class 1 prohibited weapon, and you cannot buy, sell, or possess it. This just barely skates around that by not being a real sword. This is very clearly a sword-like object. If I cannot use it to threaten, if it cannot be considered threatening more than like a yardstick, and it's not able to harm someone as a weapon, it's not a sword concealed in a cane. It is a sword-inspired object concealed in a novelty cane. I looked this up because I knew that sword canes were illegal in California, and I wanted one really badly. So I don't actually ever use this. In addition, it needs some resizing, because this is a me-sized cane, and this is my not sword in a not cane. But in addition, the fact that you cannot easily or subtly remove it also helps. But I was looking at it, I was like, that, it turns out you can't buy very easily a sword in a cane, because everybody who's selling a sword in a cane wants to be, they want to sell you a high quality sword in a realistic looking walking cane, and that's not legal in California. And it turns out what you need is to buy it at an anime convention. If you go to an anime convention, they have a novelty sword cane that does not fulfill the legal definition of sword, cane, or weapon. And that's what I needed. So I have that. But that's not actually why we're here today. We are not here today to talk about things that I will be angry about for the entire rest of my life. We are here to talk about keytars. Specifically, we are here to talk about the Yamaha SHS-10. You might say, Pig, we have talked about the Yamaha SHS-10 several times before. Yes, but we're gonna do it again, so shut up. The Yamaha SHS-10 was the first keytar that I ever bought. This one is named Wendy. Sometimes I name my keytars and sometimes I do not. This actually started from, I named them all the time. And then I saw an interview with Lindsay Sterling where she was talking about how she named all her violins, and I was like, wow, that looks so bizarre. And so for some reason, I didn't do this. I forgot to loop back to why I'm filming this on a potato. All my shit's thrown away, and one of the things that's thrown away is my camera charger. And this older camera has a ability to plug in with a USB. So I can just plug it into like a phone charger and let it charge. And my other camera, you have to take the battery out, and the charger has been thrown away. That's where we got to. How many minutes are we into this filming? We don't know. Anyway, this has 37 MIDI keys. It has MIDI. It does not have MIDI obeying general MIDI rules, as it predates general MIDI conventions. Before anybody tells me, confuses general MIDI with MIDI, general MIDI is an agreement that we all made about, hey, what if we all assume MIDI does this and that way we can talk to each other? This is kind of exactly the same thing, and I will not accept any interpretations of the word exactly. This is 100% exactly like how airplanes all talk in English. I'm very tired. When I had people who I don't like and don't trust, they were plenty nice people. It was a lot of other stuff going on. So when I had people coming in and taking my keytars off my walls and packing them up, I said, okay, I need to leave one out because I didn't know how long things were going to be in storage. I didn't know how long things were going to be packed up like that. So I said, I need a keytar. I need you to leave me one out. And I picked this one. This was the first keytar I ever owned. When I got it, this chunk was not missing. I dropped that and a piece fell out of it. But when I got it, it was missing the battery panel, and the battery panel is still missing. It has a built-in speaker. It has, oh my gosh, 25 sounds and 25 tempos. It has a chord sequencer. Honestly, I think this is everything I wanted in a keytar. The only thing I really want out of these is I want it to be approximately 15% bigger, because I want it to be the size of Who Wants to Play? Look, the thing I'm known for is keytar unboxing videos. I'm running out of keytars, so we're just gonna unbox the same ones again. Let me go get my knife. See, this would have been really a funny, like, loop around if I had then unboxed these with the sword in my sword cane, my not sword cane, but unfortunately it is not, and also fortunately because it allows me to legally own it, it is not sharp enough to actually do this. So, knife. So today we are unboxing this, which I believe is 2 keytars, but it might be 3. As everybody will notice, there is no packing foam. I do hate me some packing foam. So, alright, here we have the very rare, and you better not be fucking broken, Nissan C16 Cup Noodles keytar. I have a video about this one. This one I actually also really love. We're going to put this in the same category as the SHS-10 and just say that the execution's a little bit less good. But this, which is the Korg RK100S, it is not the RK100S2, and it is not the RK100 Classic. I have the Classic, I don't have the S2, but I do have the RK100S. This, I feel, is the smallest size a keytar can be while being like really good for performance. Now, the keytar is on some level a very performative, performance-driven instrument. Hang on a sec. I'm the only person who has the keytar and is like, I love this as an art form. You want the unholy hybrid of running around like the guitarist, but still playing the keys. You're my favorite keytar. Yes, I'm sorry you're so sniffly. Does this have batteries in it? It might have batteries in it. It might have batteries in it. Hang on. Nope, it does not have batteries in it. It just turned itself off. I would love this keytar this size. That's all I want. Like, just take all of it and put it in a wood housing and make it bigger. That'd be really cool. Oh, hey, they broke my stand, too. That's amazing. How did they wrapped this stand up in like 40 layers of fucking packing tape and they still managed to break it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Look. Everything that I control in my life is just like whatever at this point. I'm so fucking done with it. I'm just done. This is not illegal. Damn. Okay, if this fit in there, it'd be really funny. I could be like, this is illegal. We couldn't even like put on a trilby and go after a bunch of water bottles with this. This was built sort of from the beginning to say, what is it that a person wants when they're playing the keytar? They built a standalone thing. Like, don't get me wrong, the fact that we can now sync a lot of stuff into our iPads and expand on them and things like that, that's really cool. I love that you can at some point download things, that there's a community of people who make stuff, who will make custom firmware on these and all of this. That's really cool. So my career, I sell sewing machines. And for people who have not been in a sewing machine dealership in the past 8 years, shit has changed in the premium sewing machine world. The vast majority of sewing machines that are over about $4,000, and there's a lot of them, they have an entire capacitive touchscreen attached to the front. We have little old ladies come in all the time like, oh, they all have iPads. Yes, they do. And one of the things that's happened with the world of sewing machines with elaborate touchscreens on the front is that designers have gotten lazy, because you can make something and then you can push it out before it's done and you can build on it. Don't get me started. Okay, there's a machine, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just bleep out me saying the name of this machine every time, but all people need to know is that it's called the Designer Epic 3. Yeah, we'll bleep that. I'm gonna have to learn how to bleep things. I don't think I know how to do that already. Anyway, MSRP is $27,000. This machine was a mess out the gate. It did a lot of stuff really poorly. And then, over the span of the first 8 months of it being released, they put out firmware patch after firmware patch after firmware patch, and now they have a machine that feels like maybe you could reasonably understand someone paying $20,000 for it. A top-of-the-line sewing machine is $15,000 to $20,000, just a heads up there. And I'm seeing it in all kinds of other electronics too, where we can rush this out to the market because we'll be able to fix it after we release it. And one of the things that I'm seeing happen is like with the Yamaha SHS-10. They did a thing where they pushed it out and they said, here's the machine, and then we're gonna expand on it with the apps. And so you end up with this world where not as many machines are being made as a standalone thing. I haven't Googled keytar in a couple days. The SHS-10 takes it a step further, because the AX Edge, even the Corrigar K100s, things like that, most MIDI controllers, all MIDI controllers, know that you're going to be adding additional things into the mix. You have the keytar, you need the drums, you need the bass. Too bad that yours is in a dumpster. You need the bass, you need the amp, you need the cables, you need all of that. And that's good, because that allows you to control the sound more deeply. There's a reason why some people who are performing on a rock band keytar as a MIDI controller are doing crazy shit, and I'm sitting here in my little apartment with my wheezy cat, with my rock band controller, playing the same 10 notes over and over, going, wow, life is sure hard. You get to decide how much you're gonna put into it. Are you gonna put 40 hours and a $60,000 amp in it to play in front of a bunch of people at a stadium? Because you can decide to do that. But the SHS-10 went in a completely different direction, and it said, what if every single thing that you need, we give you of a relatively mediocre quality? Oh, you have the controller? You want the instruments? We're gonna give you 25 instruments. Most of them sound the same. None of them sound good. We will give you that. And then they say, oh, you want rhythms? Well, we will give you 25 rhythms. Some of them are bad. But each rhythm has auto bass, auto chords, and it's got 3 fills and an ending. All 25 rhythm tracks have that. And they basically said, what if we give you an entire setup in one instrument? And that's really cool. Unfortunately, none of it's really good. But when you are deciding what you're gonna do to move your, life I don't need it to sound good to other people. I need it to be inspiring to me. And what I do a lot of is we turn it on, we press some buttons, not that one. We press some buttons, then we pick a rhythm, we press some buttons, and then I just do this all the damn time. And does that sound good? No. But it lets my brain process sound. It lets me, without using thought, come up with concepts. And am I writing any of them down? No. I am too stressed. I am too tired. I sit down all day in my little wheelchair at work, wheeling around, and I end the day with my arms exhausted, with my shoulders tired, with my knees on fire, my ankles not working. And then I come home and I can't do anything, and I'm too tired. And now I'm by myself and I can't just ask anybody who I live with to go get me something. Like, that's where I am. I'm not making good music. I'm not making good content right now. I haven't posted a real video in like 5 months. The most recent, or the second most recent video that I did, the most recent video that I did about stuff, like about music stuff, turned a year old already. Like, I'm not making good content. I'm not making good music. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to stay alive. And like, you know, that's difficult. That's not easy. You know, it's where we are right now. So I am going to eat baked wheat cake. The other thing I could do would be to go like get my crutches out of my car and go to, I am a block away from a Taco Bell. So for a long time, you'll have seen in my previous videos, I was like out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like 10 miles away from civilization. And that's really, really cool, and I'm gonna miss a large element of that. But I could not walk anywhere. I could walk for 7 miles and still not see a goddamn 7-Eleven. So there is a certain element of novelty for me that even as disabled as I am, if I give myself enough time and access to the right mobility aids, I can just go to Taco Bell and get a spicy potato soft taco. Oh, you sneezy. You sneezy. Like, I can do that. I can just go get a spicy potato soft taco. The one thing that I haven't done that I feel like could be borderline, like, I'm moving stuff out of my house really slowly. I'm moving out of the house, I'm moving into the apartment. I'm not going as fast as everybody else wants me to, but I'm going. I brought stuff over today. It's right there. Just trust me, it's right there. Like, something somebody told me. They're like, hey, when you're disabled, you're gonna have to cut yourself a different kind of slack, and you're gonna have to say, I can't do that, I'm disabled. And it's hard. It's really hard to do that. And I'm still not good at it. I'm still not ready to do it. And then it's this combo of everyone's like, oh, take care of yourself. We want you to be all right. But they also still want me to produce and to function and to accomplish the things that I would do before I was disabled. And I can't do both. Yes, I know. I don't like it either. But I can either hate myself for it, or I can just let it happen. In other news, has anybody noticed that YouTube sometimes, like, you'll start watching a TV series, and then you switch to watching it on your phone, and then you go back to watching it on your computer, and suddenly it's like a, you have to pay to watch season 2? Is that just me? On that note, we're gonna take the camera off. We're gonna show you my entire apartment for a hot sec. This tripod is a fucking tank. It gets taller than that, and I got it for like $4 at Goodwill, and I love it. Currently I'm sleeping on this. It flips up into being a couch. It's also a futon. And I'm sleeping on that because I don't have anybody with a truck who can bring me my mattress. There are lights. This is boxes. That is boxes. This is boxes. This is the table where Pants eats her food. I don't want those pillows. I don't know why they're here. Pants eats her food here because I'm going to bring moving Tilly in here as well, because on the list of stuff that the other people I'm living with decided they didn't want was Tilly. So Pants' food is on the table so that Tilly doesn't eat this. This is my bathroom. This is how wide the door opens, and that's because I have an in-unit washer dryer, and I will trade all the janky bathroom doors in the world for an in-unit washer dryer. That's so I've had this whole thing with shower curtains, where someone's like, I have a shower curtain, and then they give me 4 shower curtains sewn together. I don't know what was happening there. This is my NyQuil for when I'm sad. It's not a substance abuse issue if it's over the counter. And this is my bedroom that I've never slept in. It's my bed with no mattress on it. This is all my clothing. This is me. That's Helena. Helena is definitely not cursed. Something else I didn't realize is that my windows all point directly at the path to get up here. So that is probably why... Oh, and this is not a mic stand, it is my lamp. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to my episode. If Tommy Tallarico can call his tour of his apartment an episode of Cribs, then this was definitely an episode of Cribs. Hey guys, Editing Pink here. So the old camera that charges by plugging it into the wall has the same battery as this one. So I'm just charging the batteries for this camera by charging the other camera and then swapping the batteries. The thing that I wanted to say is that throughout this entire video, I'm messing with something. It is this. This is the world's most over-engineered hair tie. Go on my hair, please. Like that. It's a fancy hair tie. So for everybody who watches the entire video, I saved you from having to try to figure out what that is. The other important thing to add is that Pants went to the vet today, so she's fine.